and gentlemen, and all my non-binary friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charvana. I go by the she, her pronouns.
I'm ACTORPAT. I go by the he, him pronouns.
And we are just getting ready to watch another episode of The Last of Us. And I also wanted to say thank you so very much for those of you that came over to my birthday stream. I had a very successful birthday stream with all of your help, and just wanted to say super thank you to all of that. Also wanted to pay it forward. Also, if you happen to miss my birthday stream, no worries. We can still celebrate by going to give blood together. Not necessarily together, but if you guys go and give blood, or convince a friend to go give blood, or financially donate to any blood organization of your choosing and put it over in my Discord with some kind of proof, whether it be a picture of your wrapped arm or a picture of the receipt. Just scratch out your name or whatever, because we don't need to dox ourselves. Put it over in the Discord in the appropriate channel, and then I will reach out to you asking for your address, and I will mail you a postcard. It's my very first collectible postcard, which I will put a little insert in between us. So right here, look how cute. I'll put my little logo and everything on it too. Write you a little thank you message on the back and send it directly to you. So if you guys would like that collectible postcard, please go give blood sometime this month or next month, but hopefully this month in May, or make your appointment at the very least in May, and let me know that you did it over on Discord. In the meantime, I'm ready to watch another episode. Are you ready, Pat?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. Static. Stairwell basement access. Are these the wolves?
I'm assuming. It looked like maybe they're in like a hospital.
This feels like an interrogation room. Yep. Not Leon!
Leon, hell!
Yeah. Feisty.
Ooh.
Mm.
Damn. Also, she's so intimidating for like being such a small stature.
Oh, yeah. That just sucks because, like, I don't know how heroic that is, but like I get it. Like having to lose an entire team.
Well, I mean, that's like you don't know how snap decision that needs to be or not. Like if you waste, one more minute and that gets out the doors, like then that's the planet.
Yeah. Ugh.
But you had said since the beginning that's been one of your theories that it's mutating.
Yeah. Just that. Think of how awful it's got to be just to have that in your throat, like fungus in your throat.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, we didn't talk about this last time. She's alone in the opening now. The little silhouette,
Oh,
the little silhouette doesn't have
yeah.
Joel anymore. Sad.
Seattle. Day two.
Sick, huh?
What are we counting up to or down to? That's what I'm curious about. Or just the baby? No, the baby's been around. Oh, cool.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. No.
It's really cute.
The urge to play on this stage in this awesome setting, but also the need to be very quiet.
Yeah. I wonder how much music is actually in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a pretty central subject this season.
Mm-hmm.
At least she chose acoustic. I was worried it was going to be electric and just start blasting.
Is there somebody here? Or are we just grieving? Just grieving. Ugh.
I thought she was going to play and see Joel in the audience, get a quick little Pedro Pascal cameo.
Yeah. I scoffed at myself. I was just like, just grieving? Oh gosh. Reinvigorated. Is the vengeance is strong with these two? Because like I feel like it sucks, and I feel like there should be more patrols and stuff to actually go help with this mission. But I feel like anger has to calm after a while. But I guess
especially after what we know from the end of last episode.
yeah,
Or like we said before, it's the like go back and say, hey, we went and reconned, like there's a war out there and we need to figure out what we're doing.
yeah. Yikes.
Damn. That's true. Like it's something I haven't really thought about in a lot of these terrible spots where there's lots of zombies or corpses and stuff. The smell has to just be horrific.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
That's that telltale game, right? Where it's like everyone will remember that.
Hmm. I guess you never really know until you're in those situations. I really like her because she's very empathetic, not just sympathetic. At least in this regard. I don't know if I'd close it. I'd probably leave it a little bit open just in case we get followed by a whole bunch of zombie stuff. Hmm.
I guess the thought is you don't want these patrol people to see that it's open.
Yeah. But I still think it's going to be a bad idea.
But hey, prime survival tool, bolt cutters. That's
Yeah.
something you gotta remember to like always have one of those on hand.
Be heavy though. You could also use it as a weapon.
Mhm. Mm.
Hmm. It doesn't matter if it's in the air, though.
You love me? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the subtle cute moments too.
Mhm.
Mm.
If this is true to the game, this had to be a horrifying hallway walk.
I'm trying to figure out exactly what kind of place it is.
Maybe some sort of factory?
Good bit of open spot for a boss fight.
And lots of what looked to be like explosive-y tanks.
Oh!
Mm.
But you can't use your gun! Are we sure it's just one, though?
There you
Yep.
go. Uh-oh.
Ooh. Oof. Oh,
Oh shit.
gosh. Is it gonna be the tall guy from the Wolves pack that we know? I was just thinking about him! Oh no! His. Oh, the mortality rate of these characters just went up. Pretty. Huh? Scars?
Yeah, so this must be their ground. Because they said they had a truce, right? Like
Ish.
that might be, yeah, that might be being broken, but
You gonna gut him?
Yeah, there's gonna be that intestines thing. Ugh,
Ah. Oof.
horrifying.
Now he's free. Oofta.
Oh,
Hmm.
a lot of fire to be walking around in the woods.
I mean, it depends on how. Well, it's Seattle, but it depends on how dry it is. Hospital.
And we still got Tommy out there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Oof.
Oh shit.
Ellie, you're a better shot than that. I'm not saying you should kill her, but I'm just saying you're a better shot than that.
Yeah.
Oof. Although Ellie can be down here, because she doesn't get infected.
That's true. That's true.
Oof. Because it's going to be a fate worse than death that now Nora is down here. If she gets infected like this. Is that how they're getting infected? Is because they're still alive while they're infected? Is that what makes them smart?
Maybe. Oof.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Ugh. It's like that Pirates of the Caribbean ship.
Exactly what I'm thinking.
Ugh. This is where we learn that most of the wall is people.
How long have they been sealed down here, I wonder? Like, how fast is that?
Yeah.
It's gross that you can see the spores coming out of their mouth or their breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, like how quickly will Nora turn or not?
Woo.
Damn.
Flashback. Mm.
What?
What's that quote?
Yeah, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
That's what it is. That's the one. I'm seriously having questions about Ellie and her choices because we knew she knew. Somehow we knew she knew. There had to be a moment where Joel had to have told her, and I wonder if that's what's coming in the next flashback that we're getting right here, because we're getting some kind of flashback.
That's a good thought.
And that's what I think is about to happen. Weird timing. I think it looks like they had already established their living situation. We're going to get into that in the next episode, I'm sure. But it looks like, hey, kiddo, good morning. I need to confess something to you.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this one goes. But don't know what that's going to entail. I'm kind of excited to see because we have had that secret most of the season.
The bloodlust is insane right now in Ellie, but you know, I don't know. Dina talked about it too. She said, like, if I didn't get the guy that got my family, I would have hunted him down forever. Like, forever. And, like, you know, obviously I hope nobody is ever put in any of those kind of situations, but I don't know what you're thinking in that moment.
I don't know what I would be thinking in that moment. It doesn't... We knew also that there was more hints to be had that Ellie already knew what had happened, even when Dina was speaking to her, because we had the moment where Dina says, it doesn't matter if my family had hurt his first. So she had even hinted at it, so saying that Ellie, even if Joel had hurt somebody first. I don't know if Dina actually knows anything that went down with all of that, or if that's just a guess, but I think it wouldn't matter. I really liked that moment of empathy from Dina, because we also had... It's almost a direct parallel. It's just like, I can fully empathize because this is what happened to me when I was 8 years old. And he's the first person I killed. And he beat my family to death. So, like, it's very, very relevant to the situation as well. And still putting it in Ellie's hands, because even though she was like another surrogate daughter to him, or at least that's what we're thinking, then like it was Ellie's choice. And neither choice is a bad choice. I'm glad we had that moment too of just like, this, you're free from blame. No matter what happens, you're free from blame.
I'm choosing to do with whichever way you say. I'm agreeing, so it's my bad if I make the wrong choice.
And just making it a full telltale moment, as you said during the shoot. The full telltale moment of, we will remember this.
It's, as we've been saying a lot through this season, I still have no idea where it's gonna go, because we're building a lot of tension threads of like, we've only got a couple episodes left, and we've got to deal with, there's the Scar cult, like what the hell are they doing? We've still got the wolves and Jeffrey Wright's character, and like, what are they up to? We don't know where Tommy's at. We don't know what the people back in Jackson are doing. And then the biggest threat of all is the airborne virus. So it seems like the finale is leading up to, is the world going to get exposed to this? And then we get like crazy post-apocalypse part 3, or is it going to be a sacrifice type thing where, Ellie's the one that can stop it because she can get the furthest in, or...
I don't know. She's in she's in a very good placement for herself right now. Nobody can come at her right now. It's a horrible place to be, because like, if they come down to get her, they are going to sacrifice themselves. So, and they gotta be a good shot or something, because they only got a few seconds before they start getting fully like infected coughing wise. We saw how fast it affected Nora. So I don't know. I want to know if that's also where the smart zombies come from, because it doesn't look like it anymore, because those guys that were locked down there were not active.
Yeah, they were just becoming fungus.
Yeah.
But I did like that, as you said that. It's like, oh, that makes sense. Like, just a different way to be infected allows them to be smarter, because their brain activity is still maybe there a little bit.
But just imagine, does that mean that they have any cognizant abilities of their own to know that they have become something else? Do you know what I mean? Is it still you
like
inside?
In that warehouse scene when Jesse saved them, like all of those smart zombies, are they like, well, it sucks that I'm Zombie Pat, but you know what? I'm hanging out with Zombie Shar, so...
And at least we're alive, so do we want to stay alive and be hunted? Or do we want to just take it back and say like, okay, well, we're dead, so that's fine. It's just a different life. So I don't know.
I don't know. I hope for the humans' sake that they're not. I hope that they're, mentally and spiritually dead, and it is just the fungus, because that would be even worse torture, I think. Like living in a body that you have no control over.
I would agree. I would absolutely agree. But again, my other question is, it like, surely they don't have any control. Surely they would not want to go attack other people. Surely that. But even if you are now the hunted, and you're just trying to defend your own kind, being monsters, even though you are monsters, like where do you draw the line? Where do you say who's in the wrong at that point? Like, if you are cognizant. If they're just non-cognizant and they're just torture killing machines, like, okay, then yeah, absolutely. But if they are a fungal creature humanoid that could potentially still have capabilities of forming packs and relationships and bonds.
So is there a chance that Ellie meets the friendly zombie, and then we have
Surely
a
not.
new faction?
Surely not. A Romeo and Juliet story just happens out of nowhere, and just throw that in there too. That would be ridiculous. But no, I don't think so.
Well, starting at the beginning of the episode, we had that commander sergeant woman. I don't know if we ever got her name or rank, but she seemed to be the leader of the wolves that are in the hospital. That was intense. I was shocked at how powerful of a figure she appeared to be, even though she was like the smallest person in the room.
Yeah, she was fierce. I liked that. Yeah. Just the full commanding
and everybody
presence.
Was like, yep, we do not speak unless spoken to. We do not do anything. She's in charge. She mentions that there is, or was, it looks like it's a crumbling truce between the Scars and the Wolves. So seemingly maybe that's what it is. They've drawn territory lines, like you stay out of our way, we stay out of your way.
That's what it sounds like so far, because they stayed out of the path of the park and everything. However, it's obviously tumultuous right now. There's definitely things happening between them where they're killing each other, but it makes me curious if we're going to video game it away of saying, like, they've always had this feud, or if we're actually going to get a reason for it. In which case, I don't even know what that reason would be, outside of just territorial dominance.
Well, because in a previous episode, Isaac, or Jeffrey Wright's character, had been interrogating the one guy and saying, where is the next attack? Where is the next attack? You're planning something and we gotta know where. So they're coordinating stuff too. Because, you know, the guy that was gutted at the end by the cult, he was saying, I know Isaac's plan. I can tell you what he's gonna do. So, like, they both are doing terrible things.
But why?
Yeah, like, what? I still want to know the inciting action. I do want to know, like, why are they against each other in such a way?
I hope we get to find out. I hope it's not wished away.
Yeah. Or, you know, I guess that could be a lot. I don't know if they're planning on making The Last of Us Part 3 or Season 3 or...
There's only 2 games as far as I know, correct?
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
We also had Jesse and Tommy show up, so now we have them for the rescue, as well as seeing what they can do as another couple of protagonists. My fear with having too many protagonists is the mortality rate goes up. That's somebody's not going to survive. So I don't know if Tommy's already gone. I don't want to think he is, because I think this is going to be a surprise moment, and then we will get one of the ones that we're currently with gone. Dina's already been shot. I don't think she's going to get wounded unless she is infected while being shot. So I don't know if that's something, because I'm sure biological warfare at this point is not beyond the table. You know what I mean? If you have spores and you have arrows that you can penetrate people's bloodstreams with, I feel like people would use that, as horrendous as it is. So... Yeah, I do think that Dina is a potential candidate for the one being dead, because everybody finds her so precious being pregnant and all. However, I still feel like it's going to be one of the 2 guy characters that ends up dying.
I think so too. It makes things a little cleaner writing-wise if it were to be Jesse, because then you don't have that relationship triangle between, you know, Dina, Ellie, and him. But also, I get...
But why not Polly?
We were talking about the theory of, does Dina's baby become immune in some way? Because we know Ellie earned immunity because of getting, you know, the mother being bit while she was being born.
I feel like this is way too soon, though.
And so, yeah, like, do spores matter at this point? Like, maybe if she breathes in, like, maybe the baby absorbs it, and, like...
I don't know. Yikes.
But yeah, I agree with your theory, though, that somebody of those core 4 has to go. It's just too depressing of a world, and to have all of them just be happy dappy. We did it. We got the revenge, and we're on our way home. Like,
I do love that you called it here with Tommy being like, early on you were saying, I wonder if he's just gonna hightail it out of there, because that was his brother and he obviously had a strong connection to him. And he was doing the responsible thing. I still think you can do the responsible thing, but also be selfish every now and then. It just happens. So responsibility means to come take care of Ellie. Will he still be vengeful after that? Who knows? We don't know if he's going to still try to do that or if he's actually going to go home. But he does have the opportunity to be present and make a difference and take a little bit of the situation back into his control, whether it be just to bring Ellie back or seeing if Tommy is potentially our instigator of going after the violence. We don't know.
And I can't remember, is Tommy aware that Ellie is immune?
Yes. They were screaming about it in the...
yes, and that's right.
Episode 1.
Because he also has that now, too, of she is the potential for a cure. Like, regardless of, like, we might not have the resources to do it now, we might not ever have the resources to do it, but if she dies, we now have no known recourse to fully save the world. So it's like, yes, the responsibility for the town is, let's not send our 16 best, people on this mission. But as we said, like, I'm gonna go and fight for A, my brother, and B, this, surrogate niece / the future of humanity. So
here's a question, Pat. Do you think we will stumble across another immune person?
Yes, I think I always assume in any, like, post-apocalypse where it's like, if one person has something special about, like, a cure and immunity or whatever, there's gotta be at least another one, right? We have a planet of 8 billion plus people. You have to have more than one, or if not in the same way, like, she got it this way, somebody else is gonna get it another way. And it would be interesting if that is, now that we're talking that, I'm going to guess maybe somehow Abby is immune, because now the question is, do you kill Abby for the vengeance, or do you let her live because possible cure?
Maybe.
And so now you have to weigh the choice of vengeance versus sucking it up because we need more people immune.
That would be really interesting. And the problem is, much like with My Hero Academia, like, how do you know if you have a space breathing quirk? You don't ever go to space. How do you know if you're immune?
Not to tangent into My Hero for those that don't know it, and hopefully not spoilers, it's just a power that exists in the world. The whole time I'm thinking Mushroom Girl.
I am too!
Because there's a power in My Hero, and she can make mushrooms appear anywhere, and we talk about how OP it could be if you were to just theoretically, like, grow them inside people's bodies. It's just like, oh, in your lungs, and that's
she's
what
a
this
hero.
episode is.
She's a hero.
Yes, she is a hero.
However, how do you know if you are immune to this particular fungus if you have never been bit or infected unless you test it? However, you don't want to test it because testing it means death. So I have a feeling maybe somebody else is immune, because that could be a potential. Well, now you're on the same playing field as Ellie and still be able to go through the vents and everything like that. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know until that moment arises. But what if? So I genuinely think it could be a possibility.
I don't know if it's in too, because they're one. Now, granted, it's just probably best friend telling or close friend telling, like, I'm not going to tell you where Abby is, right? I'm not going to tell you because I know you're going to try and murder her brutally. But maybe she is, like, we can't find her and she's away because she's being tested on, because she's being immune.
I doubt it. I doubt that. I don't think anybody knows, because if they had known that somebody else was immune, I think they would be on a mission to find somebody else. Like, I don't think they would let they wouldn't let Abby go out on her own missions. They wouldn't be putting her on patrol. They wouldn't be doing all that kind of stuff if our theory of Abby being another immune person were true. I think they would quite literally do what they would have done to Ellie and just, like, either hold them up into a completely separate room and saying, like, you are gold to us, we are not going to touch you, or end up experimenting and killing her. So, and we know she's on patrol because of the walkie-talkie, so I don't think they know. So I've really enjoyed, regardless of it being a lot of storytelling instead of story showing, I've been enjoying it because we do get mixed bags of, I have a story to tell you as Dina. Let me tell you about my past. And I got a story about the men that I locked up in the basement. Let me tell you about it. Because we don't only get the story most of the time. This show has been very good at being also rerouting later on, being like, we painted you a picture with our storytelling and the emotion that comes with that, because most of the time we're just sitting together and talking. And typically I don't like that, but we got rewarded with that later on as well, being like, here is what you might have been thinking that they might have been going through, but to a whole nother level. Because I was thinking, okay, they got turned, they're running around there, crawling around and being either what the smart ones were or what the dumb ones are, just walking around down there. No, they're literally fixated to the walls, breathing and puffing out wheezed spores. Disgusting. So I enjoy that we're getting a storytelling moment, but also the fully visual effects of said storytelling sometimes. So I've enjoyed that.
It's nice too, because we could flash back and see Dina's whole story, but in that moment, it's less about what Dina went through and more about how Ellie is reacting to it. So it's like, you know, if I was telling you a story or you were telling me a story, I don't get to see that memory. I don't get to visualize it, you know. I just get to hear what you tell me. So it is like we get to see some cool reactions there.
Agree.
And I like, as you said before, I don't like the brutal stories, but I like that they frequently, the two of them, have those little just cutesy moments. Like every time they're like almost about to have a fight or almost about to, you know,
Did you
have
just
an
tell me you
argument of
love
some
me?
sort. Yeah, it's just like, okay, but we care about each other.
It's been a nice slip in every once in a while to be like how much these characters are in that cute puppy dog stage of love, where it's just like, I see that. I saw that smile. I saw that. That was a flirt. I liked that. It's cute. It's hella cute watching this blossom in a fully organic way that isn't particularly judged in these episodes because it's just them two. So just watching it happen is just kind of like, oh, that's cute. That's kind of cute too. Oh, let's go fight zombies. But that's also cute. Dina's been shot in the leg. Super thick arrow.
That's gotta hurt.
Yep. That's gotta be. It was the crossbow.
I was so impressed that she held that scream in. Like she wasn't like, you know, and letting everyone know where they were. It was just to like, and kudos to Jessie for being able to, you know,
scoop.
I'm assuming mostly carry her, because, you know, or at least have the prop up.
You know the wolves have got to be on to them too now, though. We got Scars knowing that somebody's there, even though they think it's a wolf, and the wolves knowing that there was gunshots in that warehouse. So
that's probably the way they got to get out of it, is just making them think that it was each other and let them.
Yeah, but I don't think that I feel like the wolves know, because we already had that encounter where they killed some people and they used guns, and I don't think the Scars use guns. So
that's true. That is true.
It's got to be the three unidentified, not Scars, that they yelled about going into the park. So
it is interesting. They brought up the Amish comparison with the lack of technology being a core of their beliefs. So I'm curious if we will encounter any Scars that are just like, well, I'm splintering off a little bit. I believe in what the Scars believe in to a point, but also we got to defend ourselves. Like,
do we know if the mural of the woman is the sergeant from the beginning?
It's hard to say if that mural is her or not, but we had the time jump with the naive kid that was with Jeffrey Wright until now, so like I'm pretty sure she's the woman that was leading the neighborhood. So Sergeant Lady is the neighborhood lady that he had some sort of arrangement with. But would she then also be the prophet? Like, because
my curiosity is like, why not a naive kid storyline happen, and then later on we saw the time stop from this episode, the time jump back from this episode where she's talking about sealing it, because that was right after they had sealed it, as far as I'm aware. So, and then later on we have all of this tumultuous strife between the two factions. So is it later on that she has to branch off and become the mother to this other Scars group for whatever reason? Is that what the break is? Is that where it is all just broken?
So,
I don't know.
Yeah, some confusing, like, what happened when timeline stuff potentially.
Because it could be really, really quickly, like we were saying with Nora, but Nora also wasn't breathing out any spores. She was just kind of coughing for a long time. She didn't have any sprouts on her or anything, so it wasn't like an instantaneous thing. So those guys had to have been there for a time, and if that was when we had just sealed it off, then that was another time skip. So I'm curious if between the mural and these potential time skips, we're already getting a hint that this is the mother. But that's my theory. I don't know if it's actually true.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because it's a good twisty HBO style type thing. But I don't know, at the same time, I'm like, if she's on the side of the wolves and leading the wolves, but there's murals of her face as the mother, like, people would recognize her, right? When they'd be like, why is the cultist painting our
Isaac called her
commander?
just a woman.
That's true.
So I think he already knows, and that he's already had some potential insight there, and I think they had some kind of giant rift. I just don't know why they would not be using technology and why they would be hurting themselves in the way that they are. I don't know what would cause her to go from a leader to that, like a goddess to them. So I don't know where that happened, but something happened, and that gives me the biggest reason that they're coming at each other.
Maybe the scars, because again, I still think the scar logo kind of looks like a DNA helix type thing. Maybe she, having experienced in that one time spot where it's now airborne, she's doing genetic experiments with making a cure, and it's the cultists are the test subjects, and so it's like, you guys can't use technology, you guys got to be like hidden and whatever, because I don't know, we're just keeping, for whatever sciencey reasons and like protecting reasons, like, I don't know, maybe she's trying to cultivate a cure.
What if she's immune?
We haven't seen any infected scars, right? Or have we?
I don't know. But what if she is immune?
Could be.
Could be. I don't know. There's so many like what ifs and theories to be had. I'm sure there's more floating around and circulating online, but I'm doing my best not to read into this because I want to be surprised and I want to formulate things on my own and see if we can come up with something. But it's
the frustrating part is wondering, will there need to be answers in a game and or season 3, because we've only got 1 or 2 episodes left. So it's like we have so many little plot lines to tie up. We don't know where Abby is, we don't know what Tommy's doing, we don't know who the commander woman is / maybe the mother, we don't know how the airborne stuff's gonna pan out. Like, there's a lot to tie up in a little bit of time.
I wonder if in gameplay there's a lot of guitars and stuff you can pick up and music moments to be had, because this is the second, maybe third even, guitar moment that we've had this season.
A lot of music this season.
Which is good. It's like one of the only outlets that you have to still have some kind of semblance of normalcy within this apocalypse. So having the ability to still create and still do something creative is pretty like necessary in all of this time. But even that is just an instigator right now for Ellie to go on the attack. So, because she would just use the song of like, if I ever lost to you, and it was like, yep, I did. And now I have to restart this vengeance plotline. And full on going Super Joel mode, and also quite literally like kind of what Abby did first is take out Joel by the knees. So
yeah, it was literally just like, I watched what you did to Joel, now I'm going to do it to you. And probably going to do that to each of the people that were there.
But if you guys want to go and give blood, not like these guys, however, and donate your blood, somebody else's blood on your behalf, or going ahead and financially donating to any kind of blood organization, posting it over in my Discord that you have a little bit of proof, and I will reach out to you for your address. I will mail you a postcard with just like a little collectible Charvana postcard photo shoot that I did.
If you guys are watching this far in the future, this is for May, maybe June 2025.
Yes, so make sure you're telling me that you made the appointment in May, and then if you have to wait until June to do so, I will still honor those as well. However, that's only happening May, June 2025. In the meantime, everybody, you can catch myself over on twitch.tv/Charvana. You can catch Pat over on twitch.tv/ActorPat. And we can always check out all of those links down there in the description. Until next week, everybody. We'll see you then. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.